So today we've got a new kayak is supposed to arrive at one of the local shops, the Blue Sky. So we kind of had a morning to fish. So we loaded up the kayaks. We're gonna just go fish for a few hours, making bait on the boat, see if we can catch some mackerel and go troll around on the kayaks up in La Jolla. And hopefully we get the call that Blue Sky has arrived and we can go check that thing out. So the reason I'm using this little tool here, it's a shaker. So you don't have to touch the bait, keeps the slime on them. So they're gonna live a lot better in the bait tank. You haven't knocked their scales off or knocked the slime off. So using this really helps keep those bait alive for much longer. Maybe even a triple, or a double.
Well, La Jolla's got kind of a mix of things. So far we've seen some white sea bass on this trip, although they were small, calicos, and then really what this place is sort of famous for is yellowtail. For me, it's a yellowtail. You know, they're just such a great game fish, incredibly strong, but unlike a lot of the jack family, these ones are also incredibly delicious. You know, really fun to catch and just an incredible table fare.
So our plan is we're gonna get outside the kelp line and troll these big mackerel for yellowtail. So when you're trolling, you want to let these fish eat it. So it's kind of, the reel has got to be out of gear with the clicker on. That's why I like using a lever drag reel. These Siegler, I'll be using the Siegler SGN, the small game narrow. But with a lever drag reel, you can have it anywhere you need the drag setting to be, just enough pressure to hold that bait in place. So when a fish hits it, it can run with it, but it's not completely out of gear where you would get backlashed. We'll troll around the outside of the kelp, but also have a rod ready to throw if you see any fish up on the surface, because they will come up on the surface and start boiling. Well, we trolled around some live baits on the outside for quite a while. A lot of birds, but just no fish activity. Came in here, got ripped on a bait in the kelp, threw the dart spin again, and boom. This lure just keeps working. I mean, brand new lure from Patrick Sebille, his hyperlastic dart spin, and this thing has been so productive. Super fun fish, that little calico there. This guy looks like he's been caught before. He's got a little damage on his eye, but let him go.
Yeah, we've been out here a couple hours. I've been fishing pretty much just live bait, green mackerel, and you know, it's sort of a Sophie's choice. Outside there's no hazards, but there's also no fish. So we moved inshore where all the hazards are. I just lost my bait in kelp. But at least we've gotten bit inside a few times, so hopefully we'll be able to turn one of those into a complete deal.
All right, well, we didn't get any yellowtail that we were hoping for, but we got a few calico bass, had some fun out here. But I just got a call from the local shop. They said our Blue Sky Boat Works has arrived. So we're gonna go run in there and see what we can do with that thing and check it out. I haven't actually seen one of these things in person, so I'm really excited to give that thing a try. So we got over here to OEX and they've got our Blue Sky Angler 360. I'm really excited to get this thing out on the water. We're actually out here in the boat, so I've got no way to take it with us right now. So we're gonna swing back by here tomorrow morning and pick it up and get it on the water. I've been eyeballing this boat since they first started talking about it. I'm a paddler, the idea of pedal boats, everyone I've gotten in personally didn't work for me. I've got a really bad back, and the seated position with the legs a little bit higher for pedaling was very uncomfortable for me. So when I saw the Blue Sky coming out, I'm like, I gotta give this thing a try. We started off in San Diego Bay, and Sean was the first one who got to use it.
This one here is a little nicer. He really, this guy just tatered it, man. Sometimes you gotta really feel the pickup, but not this one. He just whomped it. Oh, gee. And there he goes. Anyways, how fun. I love these little spotties because even though they're small, I kind of see them as like the marine smallie. They're small, but they're super feisty and really fun, and kind of a really nice little grab. On light tackle, these things are a blast. I think I probably put about 10 of these on the blue sky so far today. No exaggeration, just kind of steady pick. Your ability to manage the drift in a deep light tackle jig like this is ridiculous. I mean, whichever way the wind is pushing you or the current's pushing you, you just mess with the rudder, mess with the pedals, and you just get that perfect drop, and it's worked crazy. It's very fun. I know there's been a lot of talk about whether or not this is a kayak or not. Honestly, I don't care. All I really know is me likey a lot. This thing is amazing. I've tried a lot of pedal boats, and when I'm not fishing, I'm probably riding a bike. So I like pedaling things, and I've just never enjoyed the pedal geometry of other boats because the seat to pedal relationship for me has always been kind of weird. And this one is just perfect. This is another little guy, but these things are a hoot, man. I could do this all day long.
Oh, that's a really nice spotty. Spotted bay bass. That's a good quality one. Don't get spine to the foot. But I got it on the dart spin again. That lure is catching everything. Amazing. So the lucky lure for me so far on this trip has been the Hyperlastic dart spin, new lure from Patrick Sebile. It's cool because it can be rigged several different ways. You don't have to pierce the bait. It already has the holes in it for running your hooks through, and it stays on really nice. You know, you can set it up with just a plain lead head like I have here. It can be set up with a wide gap weighted hook, so it'll fish completely weedless. And of course you can do it with something like this one that's got a little bit of a weed guard on it. This feels really kind of different, man. You are so high up.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, that's a very interesting feeling. Stable, it's just because you're on this post and you're up so much higher, you just have that sway. But I mean, it's a little bumpy out here. It feels very good. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to stand, that's for sure. I've been in this thing now for about 10 minutes, and I can tell already this is the most comfortable pedal boat I've been in. Generally 10 minutes is about all I can do in a pedal boat because I've got a really bad back. And this seated position just seems to work a lot better for me. I can also tell my legs are very out of shape because I never do any kind of pedaling. But man, I think I'm gonna like this thing. You know, we have a decent little drift here, so I toss one lure out and just have the lure dragging on the bottom, dead sticking, and then I'll actively fish the other one. Another pretty calico bass on the blue sky. So kind of horsing these things up because we have this sea lion around us. That one I got a tap and it missed, and so I just let it sink, 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 sink. This dart spin gets hit really, really well on the sink. I'm really impressed. So, you know, this is our first day in the blue sky, but we wanted to give it a real test. The boat really was thought of to be designed for an inshore, flat water kind of boat, but I really thought it'd be a good one to bring out here, out to the kelp and that sort of thing. So we're kind of giving it a trial on this. You know, we've got some swell. It's quite windy, and it feels great. It just feels nice and solid. You know, I don't know about a surf launch, but you know, a small day, I'm sure we could do it no problem. But as far as your comfort out here and stability and its function in these conditions, it's working really well. I'm really impressed.
Blowing up right behind you,
To me, that's just so cool. Just being able to spin around if I want to cast this way. I'm so used to, when you're in a kayak, you're always like, okay, well, if I want to cast that way, you got to either do the backhand over sideways cast or spin around and sit side saddle with your feet off the boat or pivot the boat. I mean, just being able to turn and cast whichever direction you want. You know, you hear some fish boiling behind you. You know, being able to turn and cast. That's amazing. I beat the sea lion. I don't know that I've ever seen one actually eat a calico, but if I hook a barracuda, they would be all over that. Oh, there we go, right there. Little barracuda. Or as we call them, slime sticks. This is a Pacific barracuda, not an Atlantic or a greater barracuda. They're much smaller. Usually pretty fun to catch. Don't generally like getting them on soft plastics because they'll tear them up. But these hyper-elastic lures, dart spin from a band of anglers, are pretty tough. They're just a super slimy guy. Some people keep them. They got to be 28 inches to keep. I never keep them. They're one of those fish that are like, oh, but they're really good smoked. Yeah, which means I don't want to keep it. Another species on the dart spin. What is that? 6 different species or something on this lure on this this past few days? Pretty cool. I was really interested in having Paul Lebowitz try the Angler 360 because he actually has spent a lot of time in pedal boats.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I've tested a lot of boats in my history as a magazine editor, and this is unique. I've never seen anything quite like this, so I'm itching to give it a shot.
So I really wanted his perspective and what he thought about it. And he kind of had the same sensation when he first got on it as I did. You know, that higher seated position felt a little weird. But he got over it again very quickly. And I mean, I haven't seen Paul this excited about a boat in a long, long time.
Oh my gosh, this is like sitting on air. Here we go.
Turned our back for about a minute and Paul's already a quarter of a mile away. He's a lot more used to pedaling kayaks than I am, but it just shows how well that boat moves out here in this water.
I think this is a very nimble craft. They really figured out how to have massive stability and good agility. Got another schoolie calico. Not big, but fun. Oh, and I dropped in.
I mean, he came back just raving about the blue sky. So, I mean, I can't say enough. We all gave this thing just the huge thumbs up, and we're just really stoked. And I wouldn't be surprised if we all end up with one. Yeah, it's just so fun to be on this thing and making your cast over the kelp, and you're standing up and you're seeing the you're seeing the calicos come out and whack your lure. It just makes it that much more exciting. Ah. Oh, hit it on the sink. Oh, feisty one, man. Oh, well, that's easy catch and release. Speaking of catch and release, you know, I love catching calicos, but they are a really slow growing fish. I think world record is about 14 pounds on one of these. A true trophy. Everybody wants to try and get one that's 10 pounds. But a 12-inch calico bass is anywhere from 6 to 9 years old. So they are very slow growing fish. So we all prefer, those of us that really like to fish for them, we all catch and release and never keep them. If you are gonna keep them, keep the ones that are just over legal size. You know, 14 inches is legal. So keep the 14, 16, 18 maybe. Let go of the smaller ones, and definitely let those big ones go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this visit to my hometown here in San Diego and a look at this new boat from Blue Sky Boat Works, the Angler 360. We really liked it. I think you will too. Until next time, always wear your PFD and keep your paddle right side up.